Buenos días amigos de Joystick Maniacs, aquí estamos para continuar nuestra novela espacial de Mass Effect en esta versión de la edición legendaria. Vamos a estar jugando desde el punto donde lo dejamos en el gameplay anterior, prácticamente llegando a Novaria. Entonces vamos a estar haciendo precisamente esta parte, ¿no? Hay muchísimas cosas que hacer en este lugar, como van a estar viendo, como también en cada uno de los puntos donde vamos a estar arribando en toda esta parte de la galaxia que vamos a estar explorando, ¿no? Entonces, pues espero que les guste y enjoy the ride.
The male human at the hotel bar? He's a sales rep for Binary Helix. His name is Rafael Vargas. I need you to speak with him.
Do you know who I am?
Everyone here knows who you are, Dullstone. That makes you ideal for my job. You are a known quantity, or so Vargas will think. He will assume you are here to investigate his company's dirty laundry. That will distract him from my real intentions.
Strange people skulking in corners have gotten me in trouble before.
I represent the Aramali City Council on Thessia. Our town is known for its biotic amp crafters.
What's your interest in Binary Helix? They do genetics work.
Much of BH's work relates to biotics. There are rumors that the Novaria branch has flown in Asari biotics. Powerful ones. Commandos, to be specific. We want to assess any potential risk to Asari copyrights. You will present yourself as a buyer, on behalf of the Spectres or the Alliance. Discuss their military enhancement programs. Your real objective will be to distract him. I will give you a device that will crack into his personal wireless network. It will upload a variety of monitoring viruses. They will infiltrate Binary Helix when he logs onto their intranet.
You think this uniform's just for show? My job is to enforce the law, not break it.
Do you think that Binary Helix obeys all the laws? That they do not spy on other companies?
No, I don't suppose they're clean either.
Excellent. Here is the cracking device. You will know it is done when it beeps. I have assembled a dossier on Vargas. If you would like, I could brief you on his behavior patterns.
Tell me what you know about Vargas.
He is impatient with those who waste his time. I tried to get him distracted and off topic. He concluded I was not interested in his company's services. I noticed he has a tell. When a topic makes him nervous or uncomfortable, he has a tendency to rub the back of his neck. If you see that, press him on the subject. It may distract him enough to keep him talking.
I'll go see him now.
I hope to hear from you soon.
Mr. Vargas, I'm Commander Shepard, a Spectre. I understand you work for Binary Helix.
That's correct. Rafael Vargas, sales. Were you interested in our services?
It's customary to perform minor genetic upgrades upon enlistment. I've been assigned to see what BH has to offer.
It was my understanding that the Citadel contracted to a Solarian corporation for its enhancement programs.
I'm sure you know that we pass a new budget every fiscal year. If it delivers a better soldier, contracts can change.
A sound business practice. Excuse my hesitation, I've never heard a government accused of good business sense. First, the boilerplate disclaimer. No genetic enhancement is guaranteed to take. You can maximize the odds, but every strand of DNA is unique. Our patented techniques can provide an 8% improvement in adrenal response, 12% faster clotting, and a measurable decrease in CG muscle degeneracy.
Is it possible to deaden pain somehow?
What? Well, we could try to make the skin insensate, I suppose. Full body numbness, atrophy out all the nerve clusters, we'd still feel internal injuries. But that's dangerously close to genetic engineering, Shepard. The laws only allow improvement of natural functions. We can't add or remove. I can get you those improvements for 30K credits per head. For a bulk order, I can work in a sensory enhancement package. Guaranteed 20/15 vision and hearing from 12 to 22,000 hertz.
Are you sure that's the best price you can offer?
Absolutely. That's the standard rate. Of course, if the government moves forward with this on an official level, there might be some additional discounts. I have to admit, it surprised me that you were here for business. There are many development projects on Noveria, some not entirely legal.
I wear a lot of hats, Mr. Vargas. Some days I shut down criminals, some days I defuse nukes. Some days I like to enjoy private vices. You understand me?
I'm beginning to. It's obvious you have no knowledge of genetics, which makes it highly unlikely you were sent by the Citadel.
Maybe I'm personally interested. Ever consider that?
Then you should go to a gene clinic somewhere. I handle corporate accounts with millions of credits. Good day, Commander.
Any results?
He figured out what I was up to and left.
Unfortunate, but I cannot blame you for sharing my lack of success. We'll need to find another avenue to access Binary Helix.
I don't get any kind of reward for this?
For what? Scaring off the mark? I do not blame you, but do not presume too much. Good day, Spectre.
Afternoon. Sit down, have a drink. What can I do for you?
Are you Lorik Keene? I've heard you might be able to help me.
You are the Spectre that just arrived, are you not? What can an old Turian like me possibly help you with?
I'm trying to find a way into the garage. I have places to go.
You need a pass. How fortuitous. I'm the manager of the local Synthetic Insights office. For the moment, at least. Mr. Analeas closed my office. He claims to be investigating reports of my corruption. The administrator is an interesting man. He's become quite wealthy since he took direct control of rents.
I sense a connection there.
Indeed. I acquired evidence of Analeas' actions. His hired goons are ransacking my office to find it. I suspect your goal lies outside this port. Mr. Analeas would be disinclined to let you wander. If you recover the evidence from my office, I will give you my garage pass, as well as a sum of credits.
Why didn't Analeas cancel your pass clearance?
Why should he? There's nothing outside but snow and hungry Nathak.
How did you get a pass?
I'm a manager. Most executives on Noveria are free to come and go as they will.
That sounds like a fair trade.
Violence against Mr. Analeas' thugs may be necessary. He has members of Han Shan's security team searching my offices. He's paying them under the table. Miss Matsuo is unaware of their outside employment.
I'll focus on trying to get your evidence. If I'm lucky, I won't have to fight anyone.
Excellent. Here is my pass into our offices. It will activate the elevator. The evidence is on my office computer. This OSD contains an encryption key to access it. Slide it into the drive and it will auto-execute. Oh, and do try to keep bloodstains off the carpets, would you?
Real-time from the troopers. Don't you think it would be cheap? I need some information.
Corporations here hire their own private security forces. It makes it easier for them to break the laws that way.
Beat it.
Sorry. The hotel is off limits to those without incorporated.
What can I do for you today?
How can I get into the garage?
You need a pass. You can get one from Ananias or the managers, if you can polish enough gizzard.
I have to go.
You need anything, I'll be here.
Freeze! Hanshan security. This office is sealed.
What are you doing in these offices?
The administrator's orders. Laura Keene is under investigation.
I'm going in there and I don't want to hurt you. Why don't you just go? We'll pretend this never happened.
You want to cause trouble?
Negative contact.
My people have dealt with the corporations on Noveria in the past. They pay well and they don't ask any questions.
I don't think you're supposed to be in here, Shepard.
You have me at a disadvantage, miss.
Oh, now you're gonna show some respect? I'm Sergeant Kyra Sterling, Ilanis Risk Control Services. Annaleus would throw you off-world for what you did here. I won't. You know what we did to cop killers on my world?
Your men are dirty, Sergeant. You're here off-duty, breaking the law for bribe money.
I didn't want to fight them. They fired first.
Well, I don't need a gun to rip you to pieces.
We got them all, Shepard.
Commander, there have been reports of noise from the Synthetic Insights office. Would you know anything about it?
It's probably Annaleus' thugs ripping the place apart.
Smartass, huh? That's fine. I can work with that. Meet me at the hotel for a drink before you talk to Keen. I'll be waiting.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. Parasini, Noveria Internal Affairs.
What do you want?
The executive board knows about Ananias' corruption. I've been undercover for 6 months. I want you to convince Keene to testify before the board. With his evidence, this planet can run profitably again.
You work for Ananias. Can't you just take his records?
He's a crook, not a moron. He doesn't keep logs on his computer saying, "This month I stole 3 million credits." Keene's testimony and records are everything I need to prove Ananias' guilt in one package.
I thought corruption was the rule on Noveria.
The rule is, don't rock the boat. Self-interest is tolerated if it doesn't interfere with business. Ananias is driving customers away.
Why don't you ask Keene directly?
I'm Ananias' secretary. You'd think he'd believe me? That he'd meet me in some dark alley with his evidence?
I need Keene's garage pass to complete my mission.
You help my investigation, I'll provide whatever you need. Favor for a favor.
Ananias is dirty. It might be best to help her.
Look, Shepard, I don't like this either. You Spectres play fast and loose with the law. That's bad for business.
All right, I'll talk to Keene and see if I can convince him.
Thank you. You know where I work. Come talk to me once you know if he'll play ball.
Always a pleasure, Spectre. Any news on that matter I asked you to look into?
I finished the job, but an internal affairs investigator contacted me. She wants you to testify against Ananias.
Now that you have my property, you want to dictate how I use it. I have no interest in a public spectacle.
I'll be back later. You should reconsider.
My decision is the proper one for myself and my employer.
Spectre, have you given any more consideration to my offer?
I don't think Keene will agree to testify. Can't you just take the evidence?
Keene's testimony and records are everything I need to prove Ananias' guilt in one package.
You gave me the company line about Peak 15. What's the truth?
Before the weather closed in, Hanshan received a Code Omega signal from him. Code Omega means a terminal breach of safety protocols. No one goes up until the crew sends an all clear.
I need more time. Be patient.
It's hard to be patient this close to the end. I can't wait to work in real clothes again. You have any idea how much I hate skirts?
This one offers greetings. You are the Spectre that visits Port Hanshan.
News travels fast here.
Indeed, esteemed Spectre. Your arrival was not greeted with any joy by the companies here. This one has a burden that you could ease. If an arrangement could be made, it would compensate you. This one has procured a special item for a customer. The item is not permitted within the station, but you could bring it through customs.
You want me to use my status to smuggle for you?
That is not inaccurate.
I won't carry anything if I don't know what it is.
This one must be discreet. Rest assured, the contents pose no threat to anyone within this port.
I want to know where this package is going.
This one's customer prefers to remain anonymous.
Deniability. He's not stupid then. Good.
This one is humbly grateful that the Spectre understands. Are you gracious enough to perform the task for this one?
Maybe later. Right now, I need supplies.
Of course. This one apologizes for inconveniencing you.
Decontamination in... Logged. The commanding officer is aboard. XO Presley stands relieved.
Yes, sir. On your order.
Ready.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. XO Presley has the deck.
Coming up in a report later today, Emily Wong investigates corruption on the Citadel and uncovers a full-blown crime syndicate.
I'm on a break. Talk to someone else if you need anything. I've got a lot on my mind.
I found your brother's body. His ship was attacked by privateers.
Willem's dead? I guess I should have expected this. When his ship dropped out of contact, I just knew. But I kept hoping he might still be alive.
I figured you'd want to know the truth, no matter how painful.
You're right. It's worse not knowing. That's what they all say, at least. Please excuse me. I need to go make arrangements for his funeral.
In breaking news, Chairman Burns of the Parliament Subcommittee on Transhuman Studies has been kidnapped by biotic extremists. The biotics commandeered a freighter and were last seen in the Hades Gamma Cluster. No demands have yet been made.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress. Logged. The commanding officer is aboard. XO Presley stands relieved. Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. XO Presley has the deck.
Good day, Commander. I wonder, how have you been spending your time?
Well, I've tried to keep myself busy.
That is not an answer. Not that I truly expected one. There was a break-in at the Synthetic Insights office. Several of my officers were killed. You wouldn't know anything, would you?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
I do not believe you're being honest with me, but in the absence of proof, I must accept your word. If you will excuse me, I must compose the letters to notify their families.
I believe we've already discussed our differences of opinion.
I finished the job, but an internal affairs investigator contacted me. She wants you to testify against Analeas.
Now that you have my property, you want to dictate how I use it. I have no interest in a public spectacle.
Everyone on this station is chafing under Analeas' extortion. You might end up a hero.
My employers rely on the goodwill of the executive board to work here.
The board is investigating Analeas. They'll be more angry at him than at you.
All right. It is obvious that I cannot dissuade you. Very well. I will testify. Make whatever arrangements you need with your contact. I will wait here.
Spectre, have you given any more consideration to my offer?
It took some persuasion, but Keen has agreed to testify.
That's a world of stress off my back. I'll take the evidence for safe transport. I didn't think you'd help me, being a Spectre and all. I guess some of you can be alright.
I'll leave you to your work.
Not so fast, hero. You need to get into the garage, don't you? To head up to Peak 15? While you were working on Keen, I got you a garage pass. Be careful up there. I have an arrest to make. Wish I had time to change into something easy to move in. I hate skirts.
This is an outrage. I'll see that you never work in this sector again.
Yeah, get a move on.
You, Shepard! I demand you place this bitch under arrest!
You have the right to remain silent. I wish to God you'd exercise it. See you around the galaxy, Commander. I owe you a beer.
Someone murdered our people in the Synthetic Insights office.
Wonder who could have done that.
Miss Parasini contacted me as she lifted off-world. The board will be taking me into protective custody. I expect I will be testifying in the next few days.
I heard the administrator's been arrested. Any chance you had something to do with that?
Why do you ask?
Read it where it's due. There's a lot of corruption here. Maybe this will rein it in a bit. So what can I do for you today?
I have to go.
You need anything? I'll be here.
Access to the garage is restricted.
I have authorization. Excuse me.
Yes, that's genuine. Drive safely. The weather's supposed to be pretty bad out in the Alutsk Valley.
Let's see, these are what the matriarch had in the crates.
are these things? Fan out and secure the area. No one gets in or out. What did you do here, Commander?
The Geth ambushed us, we fought back. That's it.
Geth, you expect me to... Where did they come from?
If I were to guess, the matriarch packed them in the shipping container she arrived with.
I don't believe that. We did thorough scans of those. There were no power sources, no element zero masses. If Benezia-sama's containers were packed with these things, there are many more out there.
We've fought Geth before. We'll take care of them for you.
I appreciate that. My people are good, but few of them have combat experience. I must report to the executive board. If word gets out about loose Geth, there may be an investor panic.
Has the other reconsidered this one's plea for aid?
All right, I'll help.
This one humbly thanks the Spectre. The package will be delivered to your vessel. All you need do is bring it to this one. Is there anything else this one might help you with?
I'm just browsing right now.
This one awaits your return.
Commander, I'm glad you stopped to talk. I wanted to tell you how unfortunate it was that Analea-sama was caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Rest assured, I bear you no ill will.
Unfortunate? He was a criminal, Captain.
The executive board is not concerned with galactic law, Commander. That's why this planet was settled, after all. As far as they are concerned, Analea-sama went too far. On Noveria, you may do what you wish, so long as you do not disturb public order. I only request that you limit the number of disturbances you provoke. I would consider it a favor.
I'd like to give that promise, but I can't predict what I may have to do in the future.
Of course. These things happen. If you will excuse me, I must file reports of this incident. Good day.
Analea was running this place just fine before that Parasini one.
Greetings, Spectre. Have you brought the package?
I want to know where this package is going.
This one's customer prefers to remain anonymous.
I'd be stupid to do this without knowing I'm not equipping my own enemies.
Your words are not unreasonable. The customer is the Krogan called Inamorda. That one is a bounty hunter of some repute, and quick to anger. Now, does the other have the package?
Change of plans. I've decided to keep it myself.
You cannot do that. Inamorda will be furious with this one. This one wants the other to leave now. What if Inamorda saw this one speaking to you?
Upset because I sold the package myself?
Yes. Does the other wish to make a purchase?
Have it your way.
The appeal of winter wears thin very quickly.
User alert. All Peak 15 facilities have suffered a great deal of damage. Biohazard materials present throughout facility. Virtual intelligence user interface offline.
We'll need to get the reactors back online. I'm wearing an environmental suit, and I'm still freezing. Facing the wrong way.
They want to keep their people in as much as they want to keep others out.
Shepard.
What was that?
Animals, wind. This place is in bad shape.
Get down!
I've never seen anything like them.
I'm okay.
Startup error. Virtual intelligence user interface offline. Manual boot required.
You're trying to restore this facility. Would you like help?
You're the virtual intelligence that runs this place?
This system is monitored to respond to the name Mira. May I ask your name?
Why do you need to know?
to determine the data access available to you. Basic access is limited to non-secure queries. Secure access allows most system functions. Privileged access is available only to executives of Binary Helix.
Commander Shepard, I work for the Citadel's Special Tactics and Reconnaissance.
One moment, please. Council authority confirmed. You are entitled to secure access of all systems. Please note that queries relating to corporate secrets require privileged access. Privileged access is only available to Binary Helix executives. This system is ready to process queries. You may access me at any holographic interface within Peak 15.
I need to find Matriarch Benezia.
Lady Benezia departed on the passenger tramway to the Rift Station subsidiary labs. User alert. The tramway system is currently inoperable.
What's the situation here?
One moment, please. Diagnostics in progress. Critical failure. Main reactor shutdown in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required. Critical failure. Landline connections are disabled. Passenger tram systems are offline. Report complete. Do you have an additional system status query?
Do you know why the reactor was shut down?
I'm sorry, but I was offline at the time. Shutdown could occur if reactor breach seems likely, or in the case of catastrophic laboratory containment failure. Emergency guidelines suggest the frigid environment will kill biological contagions. It may also damage mechanical ones.
Turn off the heat and hope the cold puts whatever you've unleashed to sleep. Nice.
What do I need to do to get the power back on?
The valves to the helium-3 fuel line must be opened. This can be done at the controls on the reactor assembly proper.
What are the landlines, and why are they disabled?
The landlines connect my mainframes here at Central Station to the various sub-facilities of Peak 15. This allows the crew to remotely access my databases from the comfort and security of their labs. When emergency protocols were implemented within the hot labs, the cabling was automatically ejected.
How do I reconnect the landlines?
The landlines are designed for easy reconnection. The router for the landlines is on the roof of operations. Simply activate the controls and the hardware will reconnect and reboot automatically.
Tell me what happened here.
I'm sorry, but I need a more specific query.
Why were you taken offline?
In the event, Peak 15 must be sterilized for security purposes. My program and data are purged.
They kill you if something goes wrong?
My systems are permanently disabled. To be killed, I would need to be alive. I am merely a database program.
Tell me what occurred immediately before you shut down.
Stage 1 alert issued at Hot Labs. Contaminants released from Laboratory Pod Gamma. Emergency protocols implemented. Stage 2 alert issued at Hot Labs. Isolation tube breached. Tram shut down. Landline to Hot Labs disconnected. Stage 3 alert issued locally. Contaminants in tram tunnels. Station shutdown and evacuation initiated. Code Omega sent.
What sort of contaminants escaped?
I'm sorry, Commander. Inquiries related to our research require privileged access. Only executives of Binary Helix have that level of clearance.
The creatures we've encountered here, did they come from the labs?
I'm sorry, Commander. Inquiries related to our research require privileged access. Only executives of Binary Helix have that level of clearance.
I need instructions on how to repair the station.
Critical failure. Main reactor shutdown in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required. Critical failure. Landline connections are disabled. Passenger tram systems are offline. Report complete. Do you have an additional system status query?
That's all I need right now.
Very well, Commander. Logging you out. User alert. Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required. User alert. Landline connections are disabled. Passenger trams are offline. User alert. Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required. User alert. Landline connect. Entering main reactor. User alert. Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment. User alert. Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required. User alert. Landline connections are disabled. Passenger trams are offline. Manual restart required. User alert. Landline connections are disabled. Passenger trams are offline. User alert. Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required. User alert. Landline connections are disabled. Passenger trams are offline. With emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required. Landline connections are disabled.
User alert. Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required. User alert. Landline connections are disabled in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required. User alert. Landline connections are disabled. Passenger trams are offline. User alert. Landline connections are disabled. Passenger trams are offline. Online. How may I assist you?
Tell me what happened here.
I'm sorry, but I need a more specific query.
That's all I need right now.
Very well, Commander. Logging you out. User alert. Landline connections are disabled. Passenger trams are offline. Alert. Landline connections are disabled. Passenger trams are offline. User alert. Landline connections are disabled. Passenger trams are offline.
Hostile spotted.
alert. Landline connections are disabled. Passenger trams are offline.
Good to go.
Connections restored. Processing new data. User alert. Unable to connect to hot lab facilities.
What's this about loose contaminants?
Dangerous biological agents are present in the tramway decontamination chamber. The tram station has been sealed in the interest of crew safety. Activation of the fail-safe plasma jets is recommended prior to access.
How do I activate the failsafe system?
Controls for the fail-safe systems are located in the security checkpoint outside decontamination. User alert. The fail-safe system is currently inoperable.
What would it take to get the decon failsafes operating again?
There is a hardware fault in the control system. This can be repaired on-site using a standard Omni tool.
Unlock the decontamination chamber.
User alert. Contaminants are present within the decontamination chambers. Passage is not recommended.
How do I get rid of the contaminants?
The chamber is equipped with a fail-safe system which vents a 5,000-degree Kelvin plasma. This is sufficient to sterilize any potential contagion. Unfortunately, the fail-safe system is disabled at this time.
What's the problem?
There is a hardware fault in the control system. This can be repaired on-site using a standard Omni tool.
That's all I need right now.
Very well, Commander. Logging you out.
Muy bien, mis estimados, pues hasta aquí le vamos a dejar esta parte de nuestra serie de Mass Effect Legendary Edition. La verdad es que no me voy, me llevan. Tengo que desayunar. La verdad es que me pico mucho jugando esta madre. De hecho, estaba planeado que iba yo a darle al Cyberpunk 2077, pero estoy picado con Mass Effect. Agarrar este juego es bastante adictivo para mí por todos los elementos, RPG, la historia, las subtramas, la intriga, todo. Me encanta este juego. Yo creo que hoy vamos a tener puro Mass Effect, ¿no? Entonces les digo, ahorita vamos a parar para que yo pueda desayunar. Si puedo doy otro antes de la final de la Champions League, porque pues eso es lo de hoy. El día de hoy es final entre el Paris Saint-Germain y el Inter de Milán. Y ya después de ese juego, pues ya me conectaría nuevamente para seguirle avanzando, porque esto se pone buenísimo, mis estimados. Pero bueno, sin más, espero que les haya gustado y estaremos regresando con más de las aventuras del comandante Shepard y compañía aquí en Justin Media. Bonito día y enjoy the ride.